Everyone's chasing the perfect workout, the one that melts fat the fastest. But here's the truth. There isn't one. The best exercise isn't the one that burns the most calories today. It's the one that keeps you moving tomorrow. It's like choosing a funny SNL skit for an entire movie. It rarely works. Right, guys? Hi, I'm Dr. Jake. Today I'm covering the weight loss pros and cons of various exercises to help you determine what works best for you long term. Quick quiz, true or false? You have to burn 3,500 calories to lose a pound of fat. Leave your answer in the comments section and stick around to see if you're right or wrong. When it comes to exercise and weight loss, the number of calories you burn per workout shouldn't be your only focus. Your workout routine should also be based on preserving muscle and staying consistent. Let's break down the pros and cons of different types of aerobic exercise, resistance training, HIIT workouts, and everyday movement. Just keep in mind, no workout routine burns off a steady diet of Netflix, nuggets, and Nutella. Ugh. It helps if you think of weight loss in terms of energy balance, burning more calories than you consume. I admit that oversimplifies a complex issue that also includes genetics, food choices, sleep, and stress. But the evidence for exercise and weight loss leaves us with calorie burning. For example, the classic 3,500 calorie rule says burn that many calories, lose a pound of fat. But a review study found that exercise usually produces less weight loss than predicted by that formula. Why? It comes down to compensation. When you start exercising, your body burns a certain number of calories per workout. But over time, you and your body adjust that number. Your metabolism may dip. You might subconsciously move less outside your workouts. And studies find that people who exercise regularly end up eating a little more, sometimes unknowingly replacing the calories they burned. Research at the NIH explained this with a set point model of weight regulation. When you lose weight, hormones like leptin drop, appetite ramps up, and metabolism slows, all to push your body weight back to its previous set point. Exercise helps, but it's working against powerful biological feedback loops designed to prevent starvation. So the number of calories burned during exercise isn't all it's cracked up to be, and honestly not worth focusing on. Like that $40 mini sink you bought your daughter at Disney World. Focus on her joy, not the cost. It's better to look at exercise as a regular part of your life that does more than burn calories. Just a moderate amount of exercise protects muscle, which preserves metabolism better than dieting alone. A 2017 study showed that while dieting causes quicker weight loss, exercise preferentially burns fat and preserves lean muscle, maintaining a higher metabolism over time. Now, knowing that the role of exercise in weight loss is more than which workout burns the most calories, let's break down your options so you can decide. Aerobic exercise or cardio is king when it comes to burning calories. A 2024 meta-analysis confirmed that aerobic exercise reliably lowers body weight and fat mass in a clear dose-response pattern. The more minutes you accumulate, the more fat you lose, up to around 300 to 400 minutes per week of moderate intense movement. This reinforces that sustainable regular activity beats short-term extremes. Steady effort is better than sporadic overtraining when it comes to long-term weight loss and metabolic health. If it's been a while since you've exercised, don't try to lose all your excess weight at once. It took you longer than that to gain the weight, and one hard workout is only going to leave you frustrated, sore, and still overweight. Let's break down some better, proven options. First, walking. Most experts recommend aiming for about 7,500 steps per day for weight loss. A meta-analysis showed that brisk walking measured by time rather than steps reduced body fatness without major diet changes. While another study found that when walking groups improved adherence, that led to a small but significant decrease in body fat. But the flip side is that walking, as effective as it is for long-term consistency, has its limits when it comes to faster weight loss. For example, a 155-pound person walking briskly for 30 minutes will burn about 150 calories, while running or cycling for that same amount of time will double the number of calories, depending on the intensity. That shows there's a greater time cost when walking for weight loss. Because of the lower intensity, it requires more time to match the fat loss of higher intensity workouts. So walking's greatest strengths, accessibility, and particularly comfort, are also its weakness when it comes to fat loss. While walking works differently, pairing it with resistance training or interval training, which I'll cover later, gives you a more effective long-term strategy. Or you can burn more calories with silly walking. It's true. Next, running and jogging with their higher intensities obviously gives you a higher calorie burn, about 300 to 400 calories per half hour. But if you're starting out, running can bring with it nagging injuries like shin splints, IT band syndrome, and stress fractures. The best advice is good, and I mean really good shoes, and gradually increasing your effort are key to avoiding those injuries and dropping the fat. If this has been helpful, click like and subscribe. Thanks. Cycling is great for sustained calorie burning. A 2019 study found that 10 weeks of structured endurance cycling reduced body fat percent but without significant weight loss. That means they were adding muscle mass while dropping body fat. The study found that cycling actually changed the membrane of the fat cells, making them better at burning glucose, and improved the mitochondria's ability inside the cells to burn fat. In simple terms, doing roughly 3 challenging rides per week can cause your fat cells to burn more and store less fat. Now, calorie burning on bikes depends on the amount of coasting, number of stoplights, group pacing, and whether you're on a traditional or e-bike. E-bikes burn fewer calories per ride, but since people tend to ride them more often and longer, they can actually increase total calorie burning in the long run. On the downside, while walking and running are relatively cheap, cycling comes with higher costs. You'll need the bike, the gear, and a brave, a revealing spandex experiment. With swimming, there's a fascinating twist. While swimming improves cardiovascular fitness, insulin sensitivity, and mood, a 2009 review study found that unlike walking, jogging, and cycling, swimming often fails to produce meaningful changes in body composition even after months of training. Why? It has to do with exercising in cool water that's buoyant or weight supporting. Together they add up to fewer calories burned than expected. Studies also suggest that swimming in cool water can boost appetite and food intake, offsetting the calories burned while training. In short, swimming's great for cardiovascular health, and even with the large number of muscles it requires, its impact on fat loss is smaller than other aerobic options. Take, for example, another all-body aerobic exercise, cross-country skiing. It's often ranked among the highest calorie-burning exercises, engaging nearly every major muscle group. Studies show that compared to alpine skiing and indoor cycling, cross-country skiing produces a significantly higher caloric expenditure. It's estimated that recreational cross-country skiing can burn 500 to 900 calories per hour. That's a couple hundred more than with running. But the coordination to move both upper and lower body effectively may prove too much and too fatiguing for many people. It's somewhat ironic that exercises that use a lot of muscles and therefore burn a lot of calories often aren't sustainable because they fatigue those muscles very quickly, especially in beginners. But for those that can do it, cross-country skiing is a great calorie burn and a great weight loss option. But fair warning, if you fall down more than you ski, you're just doing cold burpees. Know that with most aerobic exercise, there's a plateau effect. As you drop weight and muscle efficiency improves, you burn fewer calories for the same workout. Meaning to continue the same rate of weight loss, you'll need to increase the distance, intensity, or frequency of your aerobic workouts. What about resistance training? Being primarily anaerobic and performed at high intensity with rest between sets, it doesn't produce the same immediate calorie burn as aerobic exercise, but it does drive powerful metabolic adaptations long after the session ends. A 2023 meta-analysis found that resistance training consistently reduces total and visceral fat mass, even when the scale barely moves. That's because lifting weights preserves or increases muscle mass and improves the mitochondrial efficiency of muscle cells, helping maintain a higher metabolic rate and enhancing fat oxidation throughout the day. Cardio burns fat in the moment, but strength training keeps the engine running, helping you burn more fat even when you're done training. But does it matter, free weights or machines? If you're starting out and weight loss is your goal, both will work. If you're already into it for muscle development, you're likely training hard enough that fat loss will follow, no matter the equipment used. The bottom line is that any form of resistance training that will maintain or add muscle mass will burn more calories at rest, making it easier to be in a caloric deficit, which is key for weight loss. 2 to 3 full body sessions per week, focusing on multi-joint movements like squats, rows, presses, and deadlifts are enough to protect muscle while losing fat. Short on time, high-intensity interval training or HIIT training may be your answer. But it's not an easy shortcut. A 2024 meta-analysis of 16 studies found that HIIT training was typically done at an intensity of 85 to 95% of heart rate max. That's pushing harder than George Costanza running from a fire. Not really, but in the study, the effort did pay off. The results show that it reduced body fat percent by 1.5 points and fat mass by roughly 1.4 kilograms compared to no exercise. When stacked against steady, moderate training, HIIT training showed a small but significant advantage, about a 0.7% greater drop in fat, especially in programs lasting 8 weeks or more. So yes, HIIT training works a little bit better for fat loss, including visceral fat, with less of a time commitment. In practice, 2 to 3 HIIT sessions per week. Think 30 seconds hard, 60 seconds easy, repeated 8 to 10 times. Can complement moderate cardio or strength training to accelerate fat loss results. It should come as no surprise that combination training is the most effective fat loss option. Studies like a 2015 meta-analysis found that while diet and exercise both cause weight loss, combining them produced the best long-term results in body composition. But what about combining different types of exercise? Well, another meta-analysis found that combining aerobic and resistance training consistently delivered the best results for changing body composition. The analysis found that in the trials that lasted 10 weeks or longer, people who did both forms of training lost about 1 kilogram more body fat than those who only lifted weights. So cardio drives calorie burning, while strength training protects muscle. Together, this keeps your metabolism high and your results sustainable. In practice, aim for 3 to 4 cardio sessions and 1 to 3 strength workouts per week, or blend them into the same session. If you train for an hour, that's only about 4% of your waking hours. Now, the rest of the day, walking, fidgeting, climbing stairs, and even standing, all falls under NEAT, or non-exercise thermogenesis, meaning calorie burning. A landmark study from 2002 found that NEAT can vary by 2,000 calories per day between people. That's the difference between somebody who naturally moves all day versus someone mostly sitting. Here's the catch. If your daily NEAT level drops, even with good workouts, your total calories drop. Research shows that as people lose weight, they subconsciously move less, which can stall fat loss. So between workouts, walk more, stand more, move more. Those small actions often determine whether your fat loss plan succeeds. Time to bust some myths. You need to burn 3,500 calories to lose a pound of fat. That's a myth. Weight loss isn't that simple. Metabolism and appetite adapt, so results rarely match the math. Cardio is the only way to lose fat. Another myth. I covered how important resistance training is to maintaining muscle mass and metabolism, both critical for long-term fat loss. You can spot reduce fat. I've covered this in other videos, but just know that it's a myth. If you work out hard, it doesn't matter what you do the rest of the day. Wrong, that's where NEAT comes in. Walking, standing, and fidgeting between workouts helps. More sweat means more fat loss. Sweat is just electrolytes in water. It's not melted fat. Any weight loss from sweating is water, and it's temporary. So what's the best exercise for weight loss? The one you actually do, the one that preserves muscle, the one you can repeat for months, not minutes. And it helps if you combine aerobic and strength and keep moving between workouts. And the research is clear. Adherence predicts success better than any exercise type. In other words, consistency beats intensity and evidence beats hype. If you found this helpful, subscribe for more evidence-based insights that cut through all the noise one fact at a time. Thanks for watching. And as always, my answers come from peer-reviewed research.